Welcome to our lecture online. As you might have gathered from the previous video, all these videos in this particular set are geared to get you ready for the next stage of mathematics, including potentially calculus. And so we need to get used to this notation. So here we're going to do a slight variation compared to what we did in the previous video. Again, we're going to find the slope of a function. We call that the special case number 2. And we're going to do it kind of the same way, but somewhat differently. So I'll show you what this means. So first we pick any random point on this curve right here. So here we have y equals f of x. So simply we have a function of x. Everybody can see that's a straight line, so it's in the form of y equals mx plus b, but we don't care. And here we can say that this value, the x value of that point, is equal to x of 1. So how do we find the corresponding y value? Well, we come over here, and the corresponding y value, y is simply equal to, in this case, since we use x1, we say y1, it's equal to the function evaluated at x1. So that's how we write that. Whatever the function is that's representative of that line, f evaluate x1 will give you the corresponding y value. So that means that this point right here has the value x1 comma y1. That should be a 1, not a curve, like this. Okay, so that's the point x1, y1. We pick any arbitrary x1 and we find the corresponding y value by plugging in the value x1 into our function. That's what that means. So now we pick a second point some distance to the right. So here we pick a second point. And what do we call that point? Well, since this distance here is equal to h can be any value, so we simply add h to x1, and this becomes x1 plus h. So that's the new value of that particular point, at least the x-coordinate of that point. And then to find the corresponding y value of that point, we'll call it y2. That is equal to the function evaluated at x1 plus h. So we replace every x in the function by x1 plus h, and we get the y value of that function. All right? So now, well, you say, well, wait a minute. What do you mean? What's h? H could be any number. It could be 1, 2, 3. It's just a little bit more than x1. So x1 plus a little bit more gives you x1 plus h. And here we get y1 and y2. y1 is simply the function evaluated at x1, and y2 is the function evaluated at the next point, which is x1 plus h, the next x value. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to find the rise. So the rise is equal, that's this distance right here, that's the rise. And the rise can be obtained by simply taking y2 and subtracting y1. Now, since y2 is evaluated like this, we can say this is equal to the function evaluated at x equal x1 plus h, minus y1, which is the function evaluated at x1, and that's simply the rise. Okay, what about the run? Well, the run is equal to the far point minus the close point. So the run would be x1 plus h, minus the close point, which is x1, and of course the x1's cancel out, so the run is simply equal to h. It's simply the distance from there to there, which we define as h. So now, when we want to write the slope is equal to the rise divided by the run, and in this case the rise is simply the function evaluated at x1 plus h minus the function evaluated at x1 divided by the run, which is h, and that is equal to the slope of that particular line. And now you may say, what in the world is that? Well, it's simply y2 minus y1, which is the rise, divided by h, which is the run. That's all it is. Essentially, the slope is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by the distance between the 2 points on the x-axis. And that can be written in that form. Now there's a reason why we write in this form, because in the next video we'll show you an example of how we actually do that. So stay tuned and we'll show you how to do that.
You know, by the time you get to actually what that's used, like 4 years later, or maybe 3 years later, This is long forgotten.
I hope not.
It was for me.
Well, in a way, yes. If it's been 3 years since you've seen this and then you finally use it again, although I would think that people who are doing this will be fairly close to taking calculus, I hope.
No, but you don't have to take calculus when you're in algebra.
Well, this is algebra 2, right? This is not algebra 1.
Geometry, you still got to do trig, and you still got to do pre-calc. And that's about 3 years.
And true, if for whatever reason you have forgotten this, it'll come back more quickly because you've learned it once before. That's true.
No.
You don't agree?
No.
Okay.
I've long forgotten what this is. Long forgotten.
Well,